The game probably was over. Okay, so this is not like overlay. We're on here right here.
Okay, but and then I'm just taking off. Right?
No, you just
So anytime I want to put that up, I have to lock that.
no. Did we touch it?
Canada Soccer, Step St. John's, and the Newfoundland and Labrador Soccer Association welcome you to the final match of the 2019 edition of the Toyota National Club Championship between the Central City Breakers FC from British Columbia against the Ottawa St. Anthony from Ontario. Fans, get closer to the action. Check out Canada Soccer on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat. Find all the action for this match every time just on the official website, canadasoccer.com/nationals. Canada Soccer would like to recognize the following sponsors. Toyota, sponsor of the National Club Championships. Powerade, advanced electrolyte system with 3B vitamins, hydrating Canada's national teams. Tech is Canada's largest diversified resource company. Tech's Zinc and Health program is helping save the lives of children suffering from zinc deficiency. Visit zincsaveslives.com to learn how you can help. And the Government of Canada. And now, please welcome both teams as they take the field for today's Challenge Trophy final match. Fans, please rise for the playing of today's national anthem of Canada.
on! Hey, let's go! Come on! Come on, boys, right away! Come on! Let's go, boys. Come on! Let's go, boys. Ready up.
Good day, soccer fans across Canada, North America, and wherever you may be tuning in on the World Wide Web. Welcome to the 2019 Toyota Challenge Trophy Championship Final between Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club and British Columbia Central City Breakers FC playing out of Surrey. Earlier this morning, it was Nova Scotia defeating Alberta 2-0 to claim National Challenge Trophy bronze. First of all, a happy Thanksgiving Day to all. British Columbia have had 3 wins and 1 point, claiming 10 points in their divisional play, while it was Ontario with 4 outright wins, getting 12 points. British Columbia defeated Manitoba 2-1. Defeated Newfoundland Labrador Holy Cross 2-1. Defeated New Brunswick 4-0 and tied Alberta 1-1. They scored 9 goals while allowing 3. Ontario, who have gone undefeated, defeated Nova Scotia by a score of 2-0, defeating Saskatchewan by a score of 4-1. They defeated Northwest Territories 4-0 and shut out Quebec 1-0. They scored 11 goals while giving up just 1. Both teams are on the field wearing the blue and white stripes is your Ontario Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club. Wearing the black white stripes, again representing British Columbia, is the Central City Breakers Football Club playing out of Surrey. Starting lineup for Ottawa St. Anthony, we have Karen Spring, Rowan Martino, Lucas Halo, Marco Natolo. We have Jamal Paul, Justin Gibson, Anthony Kalu, Nadel Godban, Ibi, Suke, Salvio, Ponicio, and we have Eb Lalarki, and in goal we have Colin Gibson. The play is just underway. I'll get to British Columbia's lineup as time permits. It's British Columbia on the attack, where we have number 17 for British Columbia, and it's early defended by Ottawa St. Anthony. In control for British Columbia, here we have Karen Spring looking to go wide, intercepted by Ottawa St. Anthony's number 6. Again, we have Ottawa St. Anthony on the attack, where the ball goes out of play. And we have IB Suracre getting ready with a long throw in here for Ontario. The ball goes deep into British Columbia. We're right off the crossbar from the opening whistle here, and before the game is 2 minutes old, it's Ottawa hitting the crossbar. With a throw in coming up with Ottawa. As we have British Columbia again. It's quick pace to this contest. Number of fans braving the cold elements of today's excuse me, the weather. Ball's been taken by Ontario, moving inside as we have Trevor Turner being stopped by British Columbia. British Columbia in center field. And again, it's intercepted by Karen Spring, pushing it to the outside to Trevor Turner. Turner putting the ball into British Columbia territory where it's cleared at the 6-yard box by Nicholas Borello. Again, it's Ottawa St. Anthony with another shot here from just outside of the 18 as it's number 23, Bastilla. Ottawa coming out very aggressive here as we are approaching the 4-minute mark. Ball is put in deep in British Columbia territory, and again it's Ottawa. This time is Hello again, putting it inside of the 6-yard box, and it's defended by Scott from British Columbia. Again, it's Ottawa. The ball is being cleared by British Columbia, again by Roma. As we have nice play by Ottawa's number 6. Ottawa again maintaining early possession. Hello. Putting the ball to Ibisuke. Scary while British Columbia looking to attack, and it's cleared by Ottawa's Karen Spring. Back to goalkeeper for Ottawa. Felice Valence. Again, it's Ottawa's Jamel Paul. With a nice ball inside to Turner. Turner ridden off the play by British Columbia. And it goes out of touch with a corner kick coming up for Ottawa St. Anthony. Again, you're tuning in to National Challenge Trophy competition. Corner kick coming up for British Columbia. And again, it's cleared by a goalkeeper here. Again, I've been informed it's the Ottawa in black, wearing the black stripes. As we have British Columbia attacking. Ottawa putting the ball in midfield where it's taken by British Columbia. A foul on the play. Referee directing traffic. As we have number 9 here for British Columbia. What a great defensive play as it's May Robbie striking the ball. Again, it's working the ball rather quickly here, as one would expect in a national final for Senior Men's Challenge Trophy Toyota Championship live from the King George V Field here in St. John's. Ball's been taken again by British Columbia. It goes at a touch with a throw-in coming up. No score as we approach the 8-minute mark. Quick play, aggressive play, good speed been illustrated by both teams. Ball has been thrown in by British Columbia and it's cleared by Ottawa, but again it's just to center field. Ottawa's number 10, Nator, pushing the ball to center field where it's been challenged. Where it's IB Sakuri allowing his teammate Martino. Again, it's Ottawa's Panecchio. Pushing the ball again, it's Ottawa starting to get back possession, but again, it's highly been challenged by British Columbia. As British Columbia moves in, it's Camaro and a call made on the play. Where we have a free kick coming up for British Columbia. Free kick from outside of the 18. As we have British Columbia again looking to put free direct kick right into the 18-yard box for an offensive opportunity, and the ball is put right through the 18 where it's been Ottawa's number 10, Natillo, and Nator puts the ball to center field. Again, it's a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Morello to number 6 again, Camara. And we have a goal kick coming up for Ottawa. In goal for Ottawa, Felice Folance. wearing the green striped jersey, and the ball is put in center field. Where it's British Columbia again. May Robbie, good control, back to his teammate, Juti, and it's cleared again by as Ottawa tries to counter-attack. So, okay, ball's put it back into action by British Columbia. British Columbia. See Boris pushing the ball long as we have Campbell. Marking very, very extremely close. Good aggressiveness. Good speed. As we have British Columbia again. See Boris. And the ball goes out of touch here. As we have again British Columbia, Campbell. Back to teammate Roma. Pushing the ball to center field. To Clark. Caleb Clark. Outside again. It's May Robbie. Inside too as it just goes wide. Off the Ottawa goal, and we have a goal kick coming up for Ottawa. Felice Folance wearing the bright color green jersey. No score as we approach the 14-minute mark. Live from the King George V ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. You are taking in National Challenge Trophy gold medal final game. Good number of fans here. Again, as we have BC with a throw in, as we have Ottawa. Larkey. And it's pushed off to Natello. And Nator again. Back to his teammate, Alarkey. In center field as Ottawa tries to get some kind of offense. Running onto the ball for Ottawa, we have Ibisurke. And again, it goes straight directly to the goalie. For British Columbia. As British Columbia looks to go long. Nice defensive play by Ottawa. Breaking up the play was number 13 for Ottawa. Justin Gibson. British Columbia again trying to move in. The ball goes out of touch. And we have a throw-in coming for British Columbia. British Columbia trying to strike from 24 yards, but it just goes high and wide of the Ontario goal. 15 minutes have gone by. No score between Ottawa and British Columbia. Ottawa being represented by Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club. British Columbia represented by Central City Breakers FC, playing out of Surrey. Again, it's British Columbia. Wow, hard tackle in midfield here. A very hard tackle. British Columbia's number 6, Kamara, on the field. Very, very hard tackle. Officials allowing yellow card on the play as well to Ontario as a result of the, I guess, physical activity where we have Kamara on the field. Looks to be okay. As we have British Columbia looking for a free kick coming up. It's Bastellini. Bastellini putting the ball deep into Ontario, where it's struck from 30 yards by, again, British Columbia maintaining pressure. Larky can strike. Number 6 again for British Columbia. Kamara being a little aggressive and a foul called and a quick kick by Ontario. Again, it's British Columbia moving down the right side. As we have Ottawa moving into the 18, and it's blocked by British Columbia before Ottawa gets any attempt to create any sort of offense at all. Here we have Ottawa's IB Suke, as we have a break here for British Columbia, and it was number 14 for British Columbia, Caleb Clark, looking to opening the scoring as he had goalkeeper beaten, but it just went wide off the Ontario net. Caleb Clark coming so ever closely here as we approach the 19-minute mark for British Columbia. Ontario keeper putting the ball back into action for us. And again, it's Ottawa here. 22 for Ottawa, Suke. And again, it's grabbed by goalkeeper Luke O'Shea. Nice ball by British Columbia again. It's Clark. Good movement here by British Columbia as we have Kamara. Kamara very effective in the early goings in this contest. The ball goes out of touch. Again, we have a throw-in coming for British Columbia. As we have British Columbia looking to throw long. Ontario lines up. 9 players playing defensive. And it goes into the arms of goalkeeper Phyllis Fullance. Phyllis trying to direct traffic, goes with a nice goal kick right to the back line for British Columbia. Ottawa's Galoob attempting to generate in midfield, but again it's British Columbia. Turnover in midfield as we have Ottawa's Galoob, and it goes back to defender Spring, carrying Spring. Ottawa pushing the ball around nicely here as we had Jamal Paul running down the ball for Ontario, but again it's grabbed by British Columbia. Turnovers in midfield as a result of pressure as Ontario looks to go long to IB Suke. Stoke playing the right wing. But a nice ball goes back to Martino. Martino, nice play back to Gibson. Gibson's ball is intercepted as we have British Columbia on the attack. British Columbia moving in. Ball goes outside to number 9 here for British Columbia. May Robbie. And the ball again is blocked in center field by British Columbia's Harry Lacan. Good play by Ontario. But again, it's British Columbia manning down their opponent, not allowing Ontario a whole lot of opportunities to get themselves positioned where they maintain ball control. Again, you're tuning into National Toyota Challenge Trophy competition coming live to you from the King George V Field in St. John's, where we have no score between British Columbia and Ontario. Again, it's British Columbia on the attack, defended well by Ontario's Eb La Ricky. And again, it's back to British Columbia. British Columbia, Campbell putting the ball inside to Seabos, where again it's picked up by goalkeeper for Ontario. Felice Folance. It's Natol for Ontario, where again is British Columbia taking the ball, mainly controlling the ball in center field, where it's Jotty. Ball goes back to his teammate, number 3, Campbell. Again, it's Jotty. Jotty to 11, Siboras. Good movement by British Columbia here in this first half. British Columbia's Andreas Romo. Romo to Boris. Boris putting it inside to Caleb Clark. Again, we have British Columbia on the attack, and it's defended by number 24 for Ontario, Pinocchio, and it goes back over the goal line where we have a corner kick coming up again for British Columbia. British Columbia with a quick corner as we have Mamada Kamara getting a boot on the ball, but it's cleared by Ontario for a long ball as British Columbia looks to regroup. Goes back to goalkeeper O'Shea. O'Shea back to his teammate, partner, Boris. With a long ball for British Columbia, right on the boot of outside right partner 22, Nicholas Morello. And again, it is intercepted by Ontario as Ontario attempts to go long. It's Andreas Romo again in control of the ball, looking to go back to his defender, passing it off to Boris. And again, it's 23, Yasin Essa, as British Columbia looks to strike from 24 yards. We're number 14. Caleb Clark attempts, but it was an offside on the play, as I noticed the official, but our senior official just waved it off as we have a goal kick coming up for Ontario. Ontario again is Felice Folance in goal, as we have Ontario attacking with Elarkey. And up in it is Eb Larkey. And we have a free kick coming up for Ontario. Referee looking onto the call as we have number 10 moving in. Natal, Marco Natal for Ontario, looking to go deep. Ball is put inside where it's blocked by British Columbia. British Columbia's number 23, Yasin Essa, as he attempts to go long. It goes off an Ontario player, and again, it's a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Ball attempting to be booted long. But again, it's cleared by Ontario as we have British Columbia. 22, Morello. As Morello attempts to attack, ball is intercepted by Ontario, but British Columbia again is May Robbie, where it goes right into the arms of goalkeeper Phyllis Fullens for Ontario, as Ontario tries to get some movement. Ontario's number 10, Natolo, putting the ball out of action as he attempted to pass it along to his player, but there was no movement. British Columbia again looking to create offensive opportunity, but it's Ottawa Senate looking to go long. Nice ball where it was Bengal looking to get into clear. Again, it's Ottawa. Labenga been blocked by British Columbia defense. British Columbia again just a tic-tac-toe on defense, where we have Romo in control, passing it along to left wing back Campbell, Brendan Campbell. Back to number 23 here, Yasin Issa, moving back from his forward position. And again, we have British Columbia attempting to attack on Ontario, just outside of the 18, deep in Ontario territory, where the ball just goes just wide of the 18, where again is British Columbia attempting to shoot from 24 yards, where it was Campbell. Again, it's British Columbia, Essa, and the ball is defended by Ontario, as we have a corner kick coming up for British Columbia. British Columbia, Yasin Essa moving in on the corner kick. The corner kick put in deep into Ottawa territory, where it's blocked by number 10, Marco Natol, and it goes over the touch line or goal line again, where we have a corner kick coming up again for British Columbia. Okay, the referee indicates it went out over on the right side, directing British Columbia player again, Yasin Essa, to move to the right side of the soccer pitch, where we have a corner kick again. Essa putting the ball right in action, and again it's British Columbia attacking. British Columbia attacking and coming so ever close, and it was a great save, as it was Kamara attempting to put the ball over Felice Fullens, but he just got his hand on it, and again it's a third straight corner kick coming up for British Columbia, as Yasin Essa again moves into position for the corner kick. As we have British again putting the ball deep, as we had number 9 for British Columbia, May Robbie getting an opportunity, but again entering the bell in net for Ottawa with Felice Valance. Ball's put back into action in center field. Again being controlled by British Columbia. British Columbia. It's C. Boris. As British Columbia attempts to go long to Camara. Good control by Camara. Good footwork by Camara. As Camara put the ball in deep. Where 9. Robbie attempted to strike on a volley, but it was stopped by Ottawa's defense. Nice ball here by 23. Yes, and Essa for British Columbia. And again, it goes over the goal line with a goal kick or corner kick coming up for British Columbia. British Columbia much in control here in the first half of this National Challenge Trophy gold medal contest, coming live to you from King George V Ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Ball's been kicked long by Ontario, where it's been retrieved by Lecan. Passed along to Campbell. Campbell looking to go long to center field, where again it's British Columbia looking for a break, but it just rides into the goalkeeper. Fulas passes off to his fullback defender, Spring. Karen Spring. Always good motion, good movement by the defenders on both sides, as here we have Leckham defending well for British Columbia, as British Columbia turns the ball over in midfield, where it's grabbed by Larpiki, and it goes at a touch, and we have a soccer player on the field here for Ottawa. Not quite so sure what happened. Okay, player is up. Number 11 on the field for Ottawa. Jamel Paul. Paul is running on the sideline, still limping. Okay, he seems to be back into play. Again, it's Ottawa attacking, and the ball goes off of number 9 here. May Robbie for British Columbia, and it goes it's looked to go as it went to go at a touch. It was a call by the official as a foul on Ontario, and we have a British Columbia free kick. Quick kick by British Columbia, as we have British Columbia's Clark moving the ball to the defense of British Columbia. British Columbia's defense. Romo standing very tall, passing along to Campbell. Romo and Campbell working collectively through the first half, as we have number 11 for C. Boris for British Columbia, as it goes right to the boot of Ottawa's number 4, Karen Spring. And it's British Columbia inside the 18-yard box, as we have C. Boris ridden off the play, and again it's Ottawa defending, as in number 15 is Galoon. Again, it's British Columbia inside. British Columbia, as British Columbia again got into the clear, as it was Caleb Clark. British Columbia having a quality number of opportunities here in the first half. one off the crossbar. And a breakaway coming where it was Felice Folance saving the day for Ontario. Again, it's another corner by British Columbia and cleared by Ottawa. Ontario again defending, kicking the ball. As we're having an attempt by number 11 for Ottawa, hoping Jamel Paul to get into the clear. But again, it's the defense, strong defense of British Columbia prevailing. Back in midfield as we have Ottawa's Rowan Martino. And it goes over the touchline in midfield with a British Columbia throw in. British Columbia again on the attack, but it's defended by Ontario. Ontario is Nato outside to Paul. Good work, footwork by Paul. Back to his partner Nato as Nato goes wide. Ontario maintaining ball possession as we have Kalud again intercepted by British Columbia. British Columbia again attempting to go a lateral pass to Kamara, and it goes at a touch with a ball possession to Ontario. Ontario again. Ontario carrying the ball to center field. Ontario as is Alarpiki, and a foul on the play by British Columbia. British Columbia never allowed the Ontario player to touch. It was a push behind the back. We have an Ontario here lining up for a free kick coming as we're approaching the 39-minute mark. Okay. Okay, we have it's British Columbia. Again, it's Ontario inside as the British Columbia is 18. The ball goes off defender for British Columbia, and we have an Ontario corner kick. Ontario with a nice ball right into the 18 as it was attempted for a header as we had defender from moving in for Ontario. Karen Spring, but again it's nowhere near British Columbia goal. Here we have British Columbia organizing on the back line. Pass along from number 10 here we have Jutty. Ball goes long again as we have British Columbia trying to move inside the 30-yard, and it's defended well where we have Ontario on a break. Ontario's number 10 moving inside, passed off where we have Ontario looking to go. It's number 22. It's Ibi Sukari being set up by Nator. And a good defensive play here by British Columbia. British Columbia had a great breakout. And it was, again, Ontario. With Ontario number 22 here, Ivy Sokari, attempting a shot on goal, but it just goes way wide off the British Columbia goal. Okay, I've been notified as well. It's Felice Folens is back up here today for Ottawa, and in goal today. Starting in goal today was Colin Gibson, while Felice Folens is on the bench here today. Again, it's British Columbia. Trying to formulate while Ontario looking to break out. Seems to be more of the strategy being used by Ontario here today, as Ontario Lubenga, the ball is taken and goes out of play again, where it's British Columbia's number 6, Kamara, very active in this first half. A lot of movement, a lot of running. Again, we have Ontario. Good work by Ontario's number 17, Lubenga, but may have been a little over aggressive after referee made a call. And it was foul against Lubenga. British Columbia again putting the ball back into play as we're nearing halftime. A little over 43 minutes of played on the clock. Good play here as we have Ontario's Spring looking to go long, and it goes at a touch here with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning into National Toyota Challenge Trophy competition, coming to you live from King George V Ballpark in St. John's, where the winner of this contest will claim national supremacy in senior men's soccer throughout the country of Canada. Great quality soccer we witnessed all week. Nova Scotia defeating Alberta 2-0 in the bronze medal contest, which was played here earlier today. Again, it's British Columbia in possession. British Columbia again, Romo standing tall as it's Essa. We have British Columbia again, movement, as we have number 9, May Robbie, looking for his partner, Caleb Clark. Ball has been over on the near the touchline by the player's bench, as we have Ontario coming up with a throw-in. Taking the ball for Ontario. And again, before Ontario gets to making a movement, is off British Columbia. Good play here by British Columbia, as again it was Clark looking to go around the defense of Ontario. No, good defensive play here by, again, is Elaricky for Ottawa, stopping any sort of attack from British Columbia. Good quality game, good quality speed. Great skill level being displayed as we are at the halfway mark of this gold medal contest. 45 minutes on the clock, the referee just blowing the whistle. Again, you're tuning in to National Challenge Trophy competition, where after 45 minutes of action, we had no score between British Columbia and Ontario. Quick summary was basically British Columbia maybe 60-40, maybe a little better with regards to possession. British Columbia definitely having a couple of quality scoring opportunities. One of them were hitting the crossbar, and the other one it was Colin Gibson coming very strongly on the play, preventing British Columbia from getting that all-important first goal of any soccer match. We'll be back after first intermission for resuming this gold medal contest. Teams are don't see. Teams are back on the field here, where we're just seconds into play here. No score at halftime. As we have a good opportunity here for British Columbia, and British Columbia coming so ever close. Again, it's May Robbie. May Robbie moves inside, just wide off the Ontario goal. Corner kick coming up for British Columbia again. Cleared by Ontario. That's again, it's British Columbia. It's Boris. Cleared by Ontario, as Ontario's number 17, Lumbenga, looking to go long. Defended by goalkeeper for British Columbia, Luke O'Shea. And again, we have British Columbia moving in. Ball will call on Ontario. Card. Another yellow card, second yellow card issued in this contest. You know. Again, we have a free kick coming up for British Columbia, coming from 35 yards, 35 yards. As we have Essa lining up along with teammate Boris. The ball has been kicked and it's just wide off the Ontario goal. Ball's been kicked by Ontario right to center field, where it's stolen away from British Columbia by Ontario. Good work by Ontario's number 42. As we have Ab Elarkey. This time we have a free kick coming up for Ontario. Ontario, number 10 from Ontario here, Natora, and then ball just taken. Number 10 again, lining up, and the ball just goes wide. Ball's been taken again in center field. Captain of Ottawa team, Ottawa St. Anthony, number 24, Pinocchio. Passed off to his teammate, El Samo, and it goes long ball just over the goal line, where we have a goal kick coming up for British Columbia. The wind in favor of Ontario here in the second half. And again, I'll send along Happy Thanksgiving Day to everyone tuning in. We in Canada are so fortunate and so blessed. Again, it's Ontario's Number 4, Spring back to his keeper, Colin Gibson. Where it's been taken by British Columbia again, as British Columbia, May Robbie, looking to create some sort of offense. Alberta definitely having the better quality scoring opportunities in this contest here this afternoon. Ball's been taken by British Columbia again. Jutty, Bobby Jutty. Long to Seaboris. Seaboris attempting to go to May Robbie, but it's intercepted by 24 again for Ottawa. Pinocchio. Ball's been taken by British Columbians in center field here. Pushed to the outside right, IB Sokari. And again, it's back to the defenders for Ottawa. For British Columbia. British Columbia again formulating at center field where we have Halu. Halu looking to go long. As we have again, we have Ottawa on and offside as Ottawa attempts to go long. Cold fall day here in St. John's. Great for the players on the field. Not so much for the bench players or the fans. Again, we have a nice block here by Ottawa's number 15. Kaloon. As the ball goes out of touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. British Columbia again on the attack, putting the ball deep into Ontario as number 9. Again, number 9, May Robbie. Malid May Robbie coming so close for British Columbia. Goalie for British Columbia here again. And as we have Ontario on the attack. British Columbia retrieving the ball near the 30-yard line, going to the center line. Number 6, Kamara, pushing the ball to number 10, Bobby Jutty. And we have Ottawa St. Anthony moving in. Where is Ubenga being blocked by British Columbia? Ontario playing for that one opportunity. Much more defensive system than British Columbia have played in this gold medal contest here. Number 33 for Ontario. El Somo getting an opportunity, getting a little frustrated with himself. Pietro and Somo, but to no avail as it was British Columbia's keeper. Luke O'Shea answering the bell. Again, we have British Columbia pushing the ball deep inside, but it's blocked nicely by Ottawa St. Anthony. Ottawa St. Anthony organizing again in midfield as we have an attempt by number 17, Lebenga, and a foul called against British Columbia on Lebenga, and it's an Ontario ball. Ontario lays the ball off to Martino. Back to Martino. We have Ontario again with a nice play inside of the 18-yard line. And it's been blocked by British Columbia as we have number 10 again going to the corner. Nator for Ottawa. St. Anthony trying to line up and get this corner kick. See if we can put it on the score sheet. Again, you're tuning into National Toyota Challenge Trophy competition. As again, it's Ottawa with a shot here from the just outside of the 18-yard line. But it's just high off the British Columbia goal. Ball's kicked back into action by British Columbia. O'Shea putting the ball back into action as British Columbia tries to generate that one quality chance to put themselves on the score sheet. As we have British Columbia moving inside, it's number 14 for British Columbia, Caleb Clark, but it goes at a touch. But a throw-in coming for British Columbia again. Moving in on the ball for British Columbia, we have Morello. Morello looking to go long. Where is blocked by Ontario. Nice ball by British Columbia. Harry Leckham pushing the ball back to O'Shea. O'Shea using his center fullbacks as British Columbia looks to go to the left wing looking for number 6, Mamada Kamara. And again, it's Kamara being blocked by the defense of Ontario. Again, you're tuning in to National 2019 Challenge Trophy Competition Gold Medal Contest live from the King George V Ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, where we have Ontario and British Columbia currently no score. Both teams having a couple of good quality opportunities. Goalies meeting the match, and sometimes it was the goalkeeper's crossbar assisting the goalkeeper. There we have British Columbia again just outside of the 18-yard line in a very ever so dangerous territory. As we have British Columbia lining up. Free shot, and it's taken, and it just goes high and a little too high over the Ontario goal as number 9 from British Columbia. May Robbie got a little too under the ball. And we have Colin Gibson. Gibson right down to the middle of the field as we have Lumbenga on the attack for Ontario. And we have a foul on the play against British Columbia. And we have a free kick coming up. Again, outside of the 18. 25 yards or so as we have number 10 here. Putting the ball into play, but it's a nice defensive play by number 7, Leckham. As it was Nator looking for to generate that one offensive opportunity for Ontario. Again, the ball is thrown into play where it goes off a BC defender, and another corner kick coming up for Ontario. Ontario's Mark Oden, Nator moving to the corner. 60 minutes of action have gone by in this gold medal contest, no score. Nator putting the ball into action, and it's cleared by British Columbia. BC again trying to attack, but it's Ontario right down through the middle, where again is British Columbia. British Columbia again, and number 3 moving over where it's Ottawa with a good opportunity where we had number 33 coming into action, and it was Petro and Solmo, and it just goes wide off a defender again as we have another corner kick coming up for Ottawa. Ottawa being represented by Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club. British Columbia being represented by Central City Breakers Football Club. Again, the ball's in the corner, put into the 18-yard box where again it's been cleared by British Columbia right to center field. Number 5 for Ottawa is Rowan Martino with a throw in, but again it's British Columbia. British Columbia playing against the wind. Ottawa right now, the wind through their back. Maybe anywhere 15 kilometers or so of wind. Again, as you have Ontario attacking, and the ball goes over the goal line with a goal kick coming up for British Columbia. British Columbia's Luke O'Shea directing his players for where he wants to put the ball. The ball again is put into center, somewhat held up by the wind as we have British Columbia again. It's May Robbie to teammate Nicholas Morello. Morello to Lacan, as Lacan looks to go long again to May Robbie. May Robbie being defended rather well by Pinocchio, as we have a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Player running long, nice throw-in right to the 18-yard area, attempting to go to the penalty shot, and we have a breakout by Ontario. Ontario running long, and a good defensive play by Brendan Campbell from British Columbia, standing so ever tall, preventing any form of a breakaway for Ontario. Again, it's Ontario with the throw-in. Ontario playing much more ball possession here in the second half. Still no score on the score sheet, as we have British Columbia looking to go to the left, but it goes way at a touch where nowhere near British Columbia player, and it was throw in by Ontario. Ontario back in center field, where again it's taken by British Columbia's Harry Larkham. Ball been put in to play where it's defended by, this time by Ontario. We have British Columbia's number 22, Nicholas Morello, playing so strong on the defensive quarters of his game, as we have ball's been put to number 10 here, Bobby Juddy, outside again to Yasin Essa. Essa putting the ball into, back to number 9 here, where we have, it's a goal scored, number 14 for British Columbia. British Columbia scoring, it's Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark scoring at the 65-minute mark. Beautiful goal, three-way play by British Columbia. British Columbia scoring. Ball going right to number 9. Number 9 for British Columbia, May Robbie over to his teammate, Caleb Clark. And Caleb Clark finishes here at the 65-minute mark. Beautiful goal by British Columbia. Caleb Clark scoring the all-important first goal off this contest, this goal medal contest for British Columbia. Ball's been taken by 24, Pinocchio for Ontario. No opportunity whatsoever for the goalkeeper for British Columbia. And it's Ontario on the attack. Again, it's been cleared by British Columbia's defense. Number 22, Ivy Sucareri. Number 3 for British Columbia, we have Brendan Campbell. Outside right here, we're working it for British Columbia is Caleb Clark. Lone goal scorer coming in this contest. Again, it's Clark moving in side of the 18. Clark taking a nice foot control, demonstrating his skill. And again, it just goes outside where goalkeeper for British Columbia was carried into play, brought into play. And again, it's a British Columbia player down on the field here. Good skill level, high quality skill level being demonstrated by 14 and 23. It's Caleb Clark and Yes and Essa by British Columbia. No panic whatsoever. Number 4 on the field for British Columbia. Andres Romo. Clark pushing the ball to his teammate. British Columbia again. Morello. Clark and 10. Jotty. Pushing the ball to Kamara. And again, it's Ontario defending. Essa and the ball put inside. It's Essa and Clark working so ever so greatly as the twosome, creating all sort of havoc for the Ontario defense here in this second half. Ball's been taken by British Columbia. Bobby Juddy. Goes at a touch, and again we have a throw in. Campbell, and it's back to O'Shea in goal, and O'Shea clears the zone where he goes long. But again, it's an Ontario picking the ball up at center field. Good run. Ontario's number 10 here, Natolo. Ball been taken by Kaloon. And again, it's been stolen away from British Columbia as British Columbia try to work again between Yesson and Clark. But it goes to the defense of Ontario looking to go long, and it does go long right to the arms of goalkeeper for British Columbia, Luke O'Shea. O'Shea again directing traffic, wanting player movement so he can get some creativity amongst his players, so he have some options where to place the ball. Ball's been taken by Ontario, again stolen by British Columbia. British Columbia again moving the ball where, and nice defensive play by Ottawa's Karen Spring. Bring himself stand so ever tall in as center fullback for Ottawa. Again, it's Ontario on the attack here in the 18 as we have Ontario looking to move. Ontario having so many chances here. 2 glorious chances. Ontario coming so ever close here. One chance by number 10 for Ontario, blocked by 10 and 17 for Ontario. It was Nator and Labunga. What opportunities did Ontario have? Will these opportunities come back to haunt him? Labunga and Natola coming so ever close here at the 71-minute mark. 2 great opportunities back to back in the matter of section. Again, you're tuning in to National 2019 Challenge Trophy competition, coming to you live from the King George V Ballpark in St. John's, where we have national goal at stake, and we have British Columbia currently leading Ontario by a 1-0 margin. It was number 14 for British Columbia, Denton DeTwine, Caleb Clark, nearing the 65-minute mark again as we have Ontario pressing British Columbia here. Clearing the ball for British Columbia was Nicholas Morello. And a quick corner kick by Ontario. Ontario, number 33, Ontario is Petro Elsomo. And again, the ball's been taken by British Columbia's goalkeeper, Luke O'Shea. As we have again, it's Ontario, Elsomo. Fans chanting out, or players chanting out to their goalkeeper, British Columbia. They know what's at stake. Hear the players shouting out, 15 minutes, Luke, let's go. Again, Luke O'Shea putting the ball back into action for British Columbia, where it's been blocked in center field by Ottawa's number 15, Anthony Calhoun. Handball against Ontario, and we have a free kick coming up for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning in to National 2019 Challenge Trophy competition, coming to you live from the King George V Ballpark in St. John's, where we have British Columbia leading Ontario by a 1-0 score. Representing British Columbia, we have Central City Breakers FC playing out of Surrey. And for Ottawa, we have, it's from Ontario, Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club. British Columbia again putting the ball back into action. And a nice defensive play as we have number 13 for Ontario here running the field well. Gibson, Justin Gibson. As we have, again, it's Ontario in midfield controlling with a nice ball outside to number 22. So Carey, good play, good skill, great skill demonstrated by Ontario's number 24. Pinocchio, again 24 being the captain of this Ottawa St. Anthony team. And it's Ontario here, IBs, Sakari. Pinocchio moving in, the ball just kicked away by British Columbia's defender as the clock ticks away. We're at the 76-minute mark here. Gold medal at stake, National Challenge Trophy Championship supremacy in senior men's amateur competition, all operating under the guidance of the Canadian Soccer Association. And we have 13 for Ottawa, Gibson, and the ball stolen by Clark. Clark to Kamara. Kamara moving in. We're attempting to go to Clark, and is Yasin Essa. Essa putting the ball back into play. Right to the 18-yard box for British Columbia. Good work, good skill level by Yasa Esson for British Columbia. But it goes out of touch off Ontario defender. And we have a British Columbia throw-in moving up on the play for British Columbia. We have Morello. Morello and number 9 is May Robbie. Where again the ball goes out of touch, and again it's Morello looking to go with a long throw in as he goes long right to the 6-yard box. Clark getting his foot on the ball, but not a whole lot by it, and it was taken by Gibson in goal for Ontario. Colin Gibson standing so tall in goal. Both goalies have had good contest, good match here today. Just a lone goal by British Columbia. No opportunity for Gibson in goal for Ontario. Again, we have Ontario looking to go long. Good defensive play here by Yasin. Yasin looking to go long to Clark, and it goes out of touch with a throw-in coming for Ontario. And it's Ontario's number 13. Gibson putting the ball back into play where being challenged by two players from each team. No players allowing the other one to have an inch here as we have marking so ever closely. Speed, skill, marking, good physical play. Sometimes a little over the edge. Couple of yellow cards issued in today's contest. Okay, we do have a player on the field. From British Columbia. Time is ticking away, but again, referee will allow for that at the end of the match. Match has to be a certain amount of time for referee's time. On the field looks to be for British Columbia. See Boris. Be directed onto the field by the referee, see Boris. Again, we have, number 22. What a glorious scoring opportunity. It was for Ontario here. So Carey, just that second, never got his foot on the ball. As we have a corner kick coming up for, again, Ontario. Ontario putting the ball into play right as we have O'Shea. Luke O'Shea getting his hand on the ball, fist on the ball, putting it over the goal line. And another corner kick coming up for Ontario. Ontario putting the ball back into play where we had 17 for Ontario moving in. Lubenga, and it just goes a little high as we have goalkeeper Luke O'Shea letting his players know they want movement much into the play, and a little frustrated with himself as the ball goes from his goal kick out of the over the touchline. And again, we have British Columbia getting the ball back from Ontario, as we have Ontario with good movement here. Oh, looked to be a foul, but not quite so sure. Referee is directing and looking to his fourth official. British Columbia making changes. Number 6, Kamara has gone to the bench for British Columbia. Mamada Kamara can walk off the field with his head held very high for British Columbia. Play simply an outstanding game. There we have Yasin and Clark trying to work together, as we have number 11 for British Columbia in on the action, Sabroris. But again, it's British Columbia on the defense as Ontario keeps pressing here. Another Ontario player on the field. It's number 7 on the field again, or British Columbia player on the field. Lacken on the field for British Columbia. Harry Lacken. Ontario players challenging the official. That's verbally challenging the officials here this afternoon as we approach the 84-minute mark. Again, you're tuning in to National Challenge Trophy competition as we had the gold medal final contest here today between Ontario being represented by Ottawa St. Anthony and British Columbia being represented by Central City Breakers Football Club playing out of Surrey. Again, we have Ontario, Gibson. Sir Carey, much involved in the play here. Ibe Sakari. Ball's been thrown in again by British Columbia. A lot of turnovers here just in front of the broadcast booth. Players very close quarters to each other, not allowing no room on the field whatsoever to generate even any any amount of attack and passing that you normally see in the midfield between those strong opponents. Here we have number 11 for Ontario moving in, Jamal Paul. And it goes out of touch with an Ontario corner kick coming up here at the 85-minute mark. Short corner kick, ball's put in to the British Columbia territory where it's cleared by Bobby Juddy. Ontario again in control. Nice ball by Ontario's number. Put it to number 22, and it's cleared at the last moment by British Columbia's defender with a nice head ball. Nice defensive play here by number 3 from British Columbia here. It was Brendan Campbell. Ball put in play again by Ontario, as Ontario are mounting pressure here as time is of the essence here in this gold medal contest. We are at the 86-minute mark. British Columbia holding on to that 1-goal lead, and Ontario are giving it their all to get that 1 goal for themselves where it would tie the contest. Again, you're tuning in to National 2019 Challenge Trophy competition. We have its British Columbia holding on to a 1-goal lead, and we have a free kick coming up from just outside of the 18-yard box. The ever so dangerous territory for direct free kicks. Always teams have 1, 2, 3 players that are specialists, as we have number 10 for Ontario here, Marco Nator. Nator putting the ball, looking at the wall, 5-man wall for British Columbia. Could be possibly the last chance, as we have a nice save here by O'Shea. O'Shea coming up with a nice save here. May have been a little wide, but okay, we'll take a look at it here again. O'Shea coming across the goal. That looked like a fantastic save by Luke O'Shea. The British Columbia goalkeeper standing so tall here in the dying minutes of this contest. Again, we have it's British Columbia trying to get the ball deep into Ontario territory, as we have Ontario Pinocchio. And again, it's the ball off British Columbia, where O'Shea coming to his restricted area, the 18-yard box. And he kicking it long as we are approaching 89 minutes with British Columbia in the lead, holding on to the one goal coming at approximately 65-minute mark off the second half. Again, it's Ontario pressing here. Number 10, Nator. Nator pushing it back to number 24, Pinocchio, where it's Paul. Paul putting the ball deep into British Columbia territory, and again, it's off British Columbia defender, and we have a corner kick coming up for British Columbia. Moving in on the corner kick again is Nator. Ball has been put back into action, and it's been defended very well, as we have Yasin Essa who's been a standout in this contest, looking to go long, and it's a goal by British Columbia's number 9. It looked to be the goalkeeper had moved up on the play. Goalkeeper had moved up on the play as well. And Gibson is back. And we had number 9 putting it into a wide opening net, and it may have sealed the deal for British Columbia. It was Mayrabi, Maled Bray Mayrabi's at the 90-minute mark as Ontario were mounting pressure for past 5 minutes or so, looking for the tying goal, and goalkeeper got caught out of position. And as a result, it was a wide open net for Mayrabi, and it looks like to British Columbia right now, 3 minutes on the time clock in referee's time. That's the price you pay when you take your goalkeeper and get your goalkeeper involved in the offensive part, and you're leaving your net wide open, and British Columbia took full advantage of it. British Columbia still under pressure. Foul on Ontario as we have a British Columbia free kick coming up. Again, you're tuning in to 2019 National Challenge Trophy competition coming to you live from the King George V Ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, where British Columbia have opened up a 2-0 lead here in this gold medal contest being played in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Again, it's British Columbia and Ontario battling. Nice ball by Ottawa's number 13, Gibson. And it goes right to the arms of O'Shea. Luke O'Shea, good to save that he made just seconds before in regulations time may have been the difference off the contest. And I'm sure his teammates will remind him of that, and maybe Luke will remind his teammates of it as well. 2-0, we have British Columbia leading Ontario here in the Gold Medal Championship game, live to you from the King George V Ballpark in St. John's. St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. It's the Toyota National Championship Gold Medal Contest in senior men's. We have a substitution being made, and we have Mayrabi been surrounded by his players, embracing him. He's the guy got the second goal off the contest. And again, we have British Columbia have been declared 2019 champions. British Columbia defeating Ontario by a 2-0 score here live at the King George V Ballpark in St. John's. British Columbia being represented by team club from Surrey, Central City Breakers, defeating Ottawa St. Anthony Soccer Club, playing out of representing Ontario. British Columbia defeating Ontario by a 2-0 score. Quick summary of the game, halftime, no score. Both teams didn't allow each other a good, allowed team scoring opportunities, but it was the crossbar and it was quality goaltending there when called up on. In the second half, at the 65, nearing the 65-minute mark, it was number 14 opening the contest with Caleb Clark scoring the first goal for British Columbia on a beautiful three-way play. Then in the dying seconds off the contest, it was number 9, Malid Mayrabi, scoring maybe what would be considered a clinching goal, where it was Ontario playing desperation Ontario's goalie had moved deep up the field, getting himself involved in the offensive zone, and it was May Robbie looking at a wide open net. May Robbie put the ball in, and it was a 2-0 score. Then that's how it ended. It was just minutes after that the final whistle blew. Final score here from the King George V ballpark. It is again British Columbia winning goal over Ottawa by a final score of 2-0. Celebrations are on the field. You can hear British Columbia, rightfully so, as British Columbia experience pride, proudness, and soccer supremacy as they celebrate National Challenge Trophy Championship squad, something that they will carry around with them for the rest of their lives. The hardware has been brought to center field as we will have medal presentation, gold, silver, and bronze, as well as we will have that one of the most prestigious amateur trophies in all of Canada, the Challenge Trophy. What an honor for British Columbia. I know they've done it a number of times, so have Ontario, but the feeling of pride never goes away. 10 teams vie from the beginning on Wednesday, October the 13th, in conclusion from the 9th to Thanksgiving Day weekend. Tournament goes off. You play 5 games in 6 days. It's a test. It's a mental test. It's a physical test. The losers will obviously in today's contest walk away from the Nationals with a silver medal. But once you get to a gold medal contest, you're not looking at your silver medal. You're looking at you want to win the national championship. But as time moves on, you will be very proud of your accomplishment winning national silver. Again, I was fortunate enough to once to coach St. Lawrence Laurentians to a national bronze medal in Chilliwack, BC, and that pride remains with me today. Would love to have an experience to be involved with a team that would win a national gold medal championship. But again, pride will stay with any team that it was ever part of a medal performance at a national, be it at a Jubilee or Challenge Trophy competition. And in 2019, it's British Columbia, winners of the National Challenge Trophy competition, while it's Quebec, winners of the National 2019 Jubilee Championship. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to both teams here today, making it to a gold medal game. Certainly my heart goes out to this Ottawa team.
We now invite the officials, teams, and provincial reps to please enter the field.
The medal winners will march onto the field here. The gold team, obviously, as we just witnessed, was British Columbia. Silver medalist, Ontario, and earlier this morning, bronze medalist winners, Nova Scotia. Very proud moment for those three teams, clubs they represent, as well as their respective provinces. Earlier this morning, it was Nova Scotia defeating Alberta by a 2-0 final. Two to nothing final again here in.
To present the medals to the match officials, please welcome from Canada Soccer Match Commissioner Danny Louie, the Chair of the Local RSB, Mr. Charlie Babcock, and the Supervisor of Officials, Mr. Bob Patel.
CSA officials lining up at center field for medal presentation as well as hardware presentation. Mr. Bowie from CSA, Mrs. Judy Kellaway, CSA competitions chair, Charlie Babstock, I see there.
Please come forward to accept their awards.
Organizing committee, Newfoundland Labrador Soccer, as well as involvement with St. John's Soccer. The today's officials getting medals. They themselves have to perform at a high level in order to get qualify to officiate in the final match of the championship. Congratulations to the officials receiving their award. More officials going to center field. Again, those officials get medal presentation for their achievements to qualify to referee and to be lines people, assistant referees as they're officially called today. Temperature may not be that warm in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, but it's a lot of warmth on that field right now. The officials lining up behind the Challenge Trophy and Jubilee Trophy symbol here at center field at King George V Ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Pictures taken, memories created. A lot of those people did not know each other prior to the tournament. Officials from all across Canada are involved in these national tournaments, right from Western Canada right to our most easterly province, Newfoundland and Labrador. Congratulations again to all officials involved.
encompasses the principles of sportsmanship and respect for others. This award is given to the team who demonstrates the dedication to the principles of fair play in both on and off the field. The winner of this year's Challenge Trophy Fair Play Award goes to Holy Cross.
Okay, Fair Play Award, Holy Cross, Newfoundland, Labrador.
Fox ready to receive their award.
Fair Play Award goes to the team who has received an accumulation of cards, and the team with the less cards, be it yellow and red, received the Fair Play Award. Again, it's Newfoundland and Labrador's Holy Cross.
Award has been awarded to Mr. Ron Rangiowan from Manitoba. Canada Soccer will accept this award on his behalf. Joining Mr. Danny Bowie to present the medals with Challenge Trophy recipients, please welcome Mrs. Judy Kellaway, Chair of the Canada Soccer Competition Committee, and Mr. Charlie Babstock of the local organizing committee. Bronze medals go to the United DFC from Nova Scotia. Please come forward to accept your awards.
Nova Scotia currently getting their bronze medal. Players from Nova Scotia. Again, congratulations to Nova Scotia on winning national bronze, defeating Alberta Edmonton Scottish by a score of 2-0. Nova Scotia club playing in
Thank you.
Great championship. It was a great tournament.
Don't give me the top.
10 men's team, 8 competition, and teams in National Challenge Trophy competition. Challenge Trophy division, it was 2 divisions of 5.
Medal first, but I didn't get in that picture. There you go. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's fractured.
Scotia getting their team picture done for bronze medal as well.
Kathy, get in here!
Kathy.
Kathy, get in here!
Scotia mostly wearing jackets, so because they played earlier this morning with a 9 o'clock start.
Get a real picture, Al. All right. Just one real one.
All the reps from each province that are on the winning team,
Kathy.
representatives of Nova Scotia will also get a national bronze.
Good job, guys.
All right, Debbie, back out of there, Debbie. All right, everybody
Oh,
look
right here.
right through the lens.
I got my 3 out.
Look right through the lens, everybody.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Alright.
Look at the lens. One more. 1, 2, 3. And one more. I always lie. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, we
Now
won
for
the
the first place in
bronze!
the
Let's
middle.
go!
The Ottawa St. Anthony from Ontario. Please come forward to accept your awards.
Ottawa Senate now making their move to center field to get their silver medal. Congratulations to Ontario and to the Ottawa Senate club on achieving national silver. Again, I want to congratulate Newfoundland and Labrador Soccer on doing a fantastic job in being hosts of this prestigious amateur event. The Atlanta Soccer Association operating under the guidance of President Mr. Doug Redmond. Congratulations, Doug. Congratulations to the team organizers. Congratulations to Mr. Brian Murphy, who does a fantastic job with St. John Soccer here at King George. Congratulations to Mount Pearl Soccer Association allowing their venue small with pitch. Congratulations to Conception Bay Soccer Association in the allowing of Topsail as part of this hosting of the National Challenge Trophy Jubilee Trophy Championship. Congratulations to Portugal Coast St. Phillips again in allowing Rainbow Gully to receive its first national competition on your venue. It was a tournament well played. And I want to congratulate the people I see around at King George to field. Mr. Jeff Babcock, Ryan Wells, Mr. Bob of time and service for the sport of soccer. Congratulations to Colleen McConnell, Public Relations for Newfoundland and Labrador Soccer for you. Your work that you had done for Labrador Soccer here at this national tournament. A lot of work. This sort of an event takes a lot of work.
And now, your 2019 Challenge Trophy champion from British Columbia, the Central City Breakers FC. Please come forward to accept your medals.
And these are the guys. This is the most honored team right now in 2019. Representing British Columbia. BC's Central City Breakers football club playing Odo. Surrey, BC.
You guys go over after.
Members of the team moving to center field, getting their gold medals.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Campeones, campeones.
Well done, guys.
Danny, we did it, baby.
Columbia moving to the center as well as getting himself positioned to get a team photo.
Thank you. Thank you.
The
Thank you.
award will be handed out here in just minutes, as it will be the National Challenge Trophy competition for the senior men. Yesterday, it was the national. Thank you very much. Once again,
Good on you,
won by
Raj. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Let's go!
Good for them. Good for British Columbia.
BB5! 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 BB5!
The trophy will now be presented to Central City Breakers FC. Please come forward.
Hey, trophy!
Yo, hold the bottom.
That's exciting. That's the other team.
Hey, proper. Photo. St. Charles home, and you're welcome back.
Does anyone have room in their luggage today? The tall guys in the back. Hey, huddle in. Everybody grab each other. One's up. Hey, number one. Get down, man. Hey, guys, lean down a little bit. There you go. I want to see everybody's faces. Yeah. Good thing it's
As long as you can see my face is good.
Look at me. I am the captain. Hey, number one up. Let's go. One's up. One, two. Ready? 1, 2. Yeah!
Myself, personally, I'd like to thank Sports Canada TV for the professionalism, for the job you do in bringing soccer and all of sports to Canadian fans. You are a true ambassador of the sports program in Canada, and again, I want to thank Sports Canada TV for the superb and professionalism you show in doing your job. Thank you on behalf of all of soccer that I have been involved for nearly 50 years since I was a 10-year-old boy. And in closing, on behalf of Gord Dunphy, I have been honored to be a part of this hosting of the Newfoundland and Labrador being host of the National Championship, Toyota Championship in Challenge Trophy and Jubilee. Again, I want to bid you farewell and happy Thanksgiving Day to all. I feel so fortunate. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my beautiful province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And again, I want to thank you all. And cheers and enjoy your Thanksgiving Day.
A wrap.
I want to thank you all, folks.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you, Conley. Again, thank you.